Yeah. Okay, it is 7:03. I'm going to call the meeting to order. All rise for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to pause the very beginning here of the meeting. As we see roll call, everyone is present tonight. Hold on. They're not that far. We have a special retirement tonight. The last board meeting of Ms. Marla held. And the board came together, and since you're so special to us, we wanted to thank you personally from each one of us. Thank you for all of your years of service. You will be missed.
And there are your flowers at the base.
In the base.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
We appreciate you. Right? We wanted to start that way just to let you know before we get started how much we appreciate you.
Madam President, we are having a formal gathering, not a formal gathering, but at the high school tomorrow from 3 to 6. Anybody would like to come in and recognize Marlon for her years of service, she'll be here after her last day of work. She just doesn't want to go home quite yet.
I don't blame her. Exactly. Thank you. Okay, good. And we'll see you tomorrow as well. All right, so we're going to start right away. I need a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes of October 12th, 2022. Finance and Personnel Committee meeting minutes of November 9th, 2022. I will be pulling up the agenda on my phone as I did not bring my computer.
So moved.
Second.
Flores?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Mazur?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, and I need a motion to approve the regular board meeting executive session minutes of October 12th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Belt?
Yes.
Mazur?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Yep.
I need a motion to approve the November 2022 expenses. Please note the additional bills. So moved.
Second.
Mazur?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
And Belt?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, Mr. Peters.
Alrighty. The balance in the Super Now account at First Community at month end was $861,651.19. Outstanding checks totaled $51,923.75. October payroll expense carryover $79,1794, leaving the adjusted bank balance at $801,809.50. Lunch program balance $26,082.63. Impressed fund to $5,000, leaving the total at $832,892.13. Investment balances totaled $8,843,474.43, leaving the balance of all funds at the end of October $9,676,366.56. October receipts, we received $3,229,705.24. Expenses totaled $3,288,600.37. Individual fund balances: education fund $6,324,808.17. Building fund $1,138,541.08. Bond and interest minus $119,134.68.
Transportation, $958,248.09. IMRF, $350,201.38. Working cash, $176,954.92. Tort Fund, $263,942.21, and excuse me, Life Safety, $582,805.39. October interest was $2,036.59, and notice that interest rate did go up 1%. Illinois made several distributions last month. State aid totaled $265,918. State free lunch, $14.56. Special ed orphanage, $18,971.73. School lunch program, $48.96.28. Special milk, yes, that is correct, 54 cents. Special ed private facility, $74.37.58. Special ed transportation, $71,211.91. Regular transportation, $76,350.18. ESSER 1, $62.68 even. Title I, $14,030. And we had the 8th real estate distribution for $279,131.88. Balances are in the packet.
Any questions for Ms. Peters?
Move we accept the report as given.
Is that a motion, Mary?
That's a motion. It
Okay,
needs a second.
Hernandez?
I already did.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Pallmeyer?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Mazurk?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, for guests, public comment, as a reminder, we have 3 minutes. Okay, Melanie Brennenstall. Oh, it's, okay, I'll ask the board if they'll go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for the district, everything you've done. A couple of things from the last meeting and from the finance meeting. One, thank you for, I heard several times during the finance meeting that, don't want to cut the education. You're looking at sports, we're looking at fees. I think that's great. For what it's worth, as I was watching it, I don't think there should be a cap on the fees for the student, or as far as like a cap of what they have to pay, because if you have 4, 5, 6 kids and they're doing every sport, you'll figure out a way. My husband's a repair guy, I work at a restaurant, we have 3 kids, 2 of them play hockey, which I don't even tally it up because I don't want to know the cost, I can't think about it. But we make it work. You prioritize what's important, so for a family, if that's important for their kids, they'll figure out a way. For our school district, unfortunately, that can't be what's important right now, and I think everybody knows that it has to be the education. So that's my 2 cents on that. Along the lines of cutting things, at the last meeting, I know Dr. Gahan, you brought up increasing the wages for substitute teachers, and the board kind of agreed that it was not going to. I heard a couple people say it wouldn't make a difference, that we would get more subs in. So hopefully that is not discussed any further, because as much as I think that whatever we can pay for our teachers, our subs, our aides is great, but again, if we're cutting programs that are affecting the kids, we can't give anything but the minimum raises, I would imagine, to teachers and other members of the district. So that's kind of just my 2 cents on that, and just keep up with the work, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the board okay with Ms. Pena speaking?
Mm-hmm.
It was just after the time we started. So
Oh, that's
it's
fine.
from the fine print. Okay, Ms. Pena?
I
just want to say, Marla, first, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I hope you enjoy your retirement. Thank you for all your years of service. Recently, my husband addressed the board about students using the N-word in the passing period. And apparently last week, there was an incident on the KACC bus on the way back to BHS. From what I understand, there was a white student playing a song that had the N-word in it. I'm not sure if the child was also singing along to the music or not. And although I'm not listening to music with the N-word, I understand there's a lot of songs with it in there. So the student was listening to the song, and one of the black students did not like this. Now, I don't know if this is one of the black students that likes to spew out the N-word during passing period or not, but then refused to let the last 5 rows or so of the bus students off the bus. Well, then the kids got off the bus, and I guess once they were in the high school, from what I understand, the black student went after the white kid. And I guess some teachers may have secured the white student in a room to protect him. From what I understand, the only one that was suspended was the white student. Now, I come from a mixed marriage. I don't use the N-word. I don't like the N-word. I don't think blacks should use it. I don't think whites should use it. I don't think Mexicans should use it. It's just a word that I really have no use for in my vocabulary. Kids nowadays throw it around, call people that, they don't care. Sometimes they call each other that like it's a term of endearment, and then sometimes it's so offensive that they want to knock somebody out for using it. It's not appropriate. I don't think it should be. I think our administration needs to be more transparent. I think they need to be more proactive. This is ridiculous. It shouldn't be tossed around in passing period. If I don't care what color somebody is, I don't care what gender they are. Wrong is wrong. So I feel like I grew up in this school, and yes, it is different than it used to be. That doesn't mean it has to be different in a bad way. We're growing, we're changing, that's fine. But I don't think we should be allowing certain things during passing period. And then when something bad happens, then it's like, oh, well, how did that happen? Well, because we allowed it. So I would really like a little bit more transparency, and hopefully people, and I don't even know if by the looks of some of your faces, maybe you didn't even know this happened. Maybe I don't even have all the details, which is probably part of it. But the fact is, this has come back to me. I have a high school student, I have a junior high student. We've had 2 kids graduate from the school. My husband and I went to the school. So I would just like to make everybody aware of the incident. And
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, audit presentation.
We have John Michalesco. Guy, I said it? Yes. From Gaston Smith and Michalesco. So if you would, give him your attention.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is John. I'm going to go over the audit for you this evening. Before I go over the audit, it's kind of entail what the audit process involves. We come out to the district during the summer, and we inspect and examine the records. By that, we confirm all cash on hand and investments. We also test expenditures, both from the district and the student activity fund, to make sure they're paying the right amount, the right vendor, recording the right funds. We also test the student activity funds for the same aspects. We also confirm all revenues to make sure they're recorded properly, both from the state or pass through the full government, like property taxes, to make sure they're allocated the right funds and for the right dollar amounts. Once we're done with our testing, we form what we call our conclusion or an opinion. That's on page 1 of the blue room packet here. Your district received a clean or unmodified opinion on the cash basis counting. It does say in there adverse, but don't let that mislead you. It's adverse under the generally accepted accounting principles, which would be full accrual. We report on the method allowed by ISB, which is regulatory, so therefore you are presented just fine. Pages 8 and 9 of the audit are the statement of revenues received and expenditure dispersed. This is basically the income statement for the district. All the figures in here are as of June 30th, so they're different from the treasurer's report you heard earlier. Overall, the district expended $21.9 million. We brought in $21.7 million, so we actually expended $200,000 more. So we had an overall decrease in our fund balances. Every fund had an increase except for the O&M fund, the building fund. We had some projects going on, so that was a reduction there. And in the final fund balance of the 13 million, there is some advanced property taxes received in the current year levy that were received early, of about $6 million. All the footnotes follow that, as well as a budget to actual presentation. Overall, the budget was comparable to what was spent. We also test, in addition to the financials, we test internal controls, meaning we want to make sure all transactions are following the regular course of checks and balances, and then ultimately approved by the board. We did not find any detections, material detections of the statements with that, so the district received a clean opinion on the internal controls. Another new report that's in this year's audit that hasn't been in years past is what we call a single audit. Your district expended more than $750,000 of federal revenues. So we have to do an extra layer of testing on the federal programs. That is on page 62. There's the matrix of the programs that were tested. The ESSER money was by far the biggest one, so we had to do extra layer of testing on those expenditures to make sure they're all in compliance with the application and the budget. The district received a clean or unmodified opinion for the federal programs, meaning we had all the expenditures accounted for properly. And the final report that's in the audit is the Illinois Grant Accountability and Transparency Act, referred to as the data report. District had that included in the audit, and so we are in compliance with that state statute. In addition to the audit, we also issued 2 other letters. One of this title communication was for our governance. That's basically my firm telling the board that we didn't have any disagreements during the audit. We found the records to be in great shape. Thank you, Mara. And that we did not find any inconsistencies. We also attached our journal entries to the back of this. Those are mostly cosmetic in nature. We just have to keep our chart of accounts in alignment with ISB's for the state AFR filing. We also issue a management letter. This is kind of our firm giving you some points of improvement. We did find 3 funds went over budget. Not a big deal, but we do need to be within our budget on expenditures to keep those findings from happening again. Final report we do is the state AFR form. It's basically an Excel version of this audit. It was completed and done, turned in on time. Did want to point out that your district received a recognition on the profile score. You got a 3.65 or a 4.0, so you're in that top tier still. So everything basically, again, great shape. We'll be sad to see you not there next year. So, but are there any questions with the audit? Well, if anything does come up, our contact information is in there. Feel free to reach out to us anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you for the information.
Thank you, and thank you, Marva.
And Jeff.
All right, great, thank you so much. All right. Staff report, Dr. Gainham.
We only have one FOIA this month. It was a commercial FOIA, so that was received and satisfied within the required time limit for that one. And then in terms of my board report, it wasn't extensive because we kind of finally had a nice semi-calm month where we allowed us to catch up on some things. However, I would like direction from this board in regards to Miller and Racine. I did get a phone call today from Bob Barber because apparently the person that called my office to talk to me about the solar farm they want to put out there, I told him that we're all for it. We just need a village to rubber stamp it. And which I informed Mr. Barber that it couldn't be further from the truth. I never said any such thing, and that I would need to bring it to my board well before I give any kind of rubber stamp to anything. I gave you the numbers. Now, if they look to lease it, it then becomes a taxable piece of property. We would have to then start paying taxes to the village on said property. If at any point in time that is the direction you wanted to go, I would probably recommend you sell it to that person, just get the lump sum, and then they can pay the taxes. However, that's not what I'm looking for here. What I'm looking for is a direction on when people call me, would you still like me to field those phone calls, or would you like me to politely say thanks but no thanks, and also let Mr. Barber know and the village know we're not looking to do anything within the next 6 months, year. with that property, and to have a great day. So what are your thoughts on this?
So the lease would be 20 years.
If you went with the solar,
solar
yeah,
company.
this one hypothetically would be 20 years with 2 10-year extensions on top of that.
And could you get out if need be, like if we end up needing the land in 10 years?
On year 21, you could.
Okay. I don't like that fact because that's why we have it, just in case we do need to build or we, grow enough to where we need that. I'd hate that we couldn't use it. But I also hate that it's just sitting there
It's just
also.
sitting there. It's been
Oh,
sitting
we
there.
know-
over 50 years, I believe.
Yeah.
If I'm not-
When we know we're not gonna do anything with it, I mean, for at least 5 years, 5 to 10 years, because
Yeah.
that's how long it would take to build anything if we need be, and our budget is nowhere near where it needs to be able to do anything like that.
Would they wouldn't do a 10-year?
No, this is a standard
Standard,
lease
okay.
agreement that they have to state solar farm.
I mean, as it's been sitting so long, I just think we should discuss the
Yeah.
option, I mean,
And the solar farm, then we would get, I think it said we would get a discount on our utility bill?
Yeah, so, we wouldn't be using our electric company, we would then move to solar energy. Now, again, I don't know if they know the distance from there to here and the
Yeah.
cost of getting all that connected, but he said ballpark, he obviously didn't run the numbers, it was a 20% overall rate drop at what we're seeing right now. As long as it's sunny.
Yeah, yeah. But that's something too, I mean, we spend a lot of money on electricity.
So if this is something you want to kick the facilities, I'm more than willing to ask Mr. Hernandez to
I
pull
feel like it
together-
should be discussed, and maybe if you do have a facilities meeting, then, the
think
community
we
members
should.
can come and discuss how they feel on it too.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah,
Julie's facilities? Oh, your transportation, I'm sorry.
it's okay. I would think that this would, at least we should have a discussion on it,
Yeah.
and then it would be a time that the community could speak, and we could maybe get more information. I think we should.
And I mean, I know it doesn't make your job any easier, but, I do think we should field calls because maybe this isn't the right opportunity because, we don't want it to, the property tied up for 20 years, but, perhaps something does come along that would be a good fit for that property for, getting some more revenue into our.
So out of respect to this person's time, is there kind of a consensus that we're not looking for a 20-year holdup on that property? And I could call this person back and say thanks, but no thanks?
I still think we should discuss
I think
it.
it should be
needs to be
discussed.
discussed.
So
I wanna
Okay.
discuss it
I mean,
first.
Then I will not call him back.
Yeah, let's kick it to facility, and I'll talk to you about what,
Okay.
what we might want to see and hear in that, and then put that out there for discussion.
It's like high school, just not getting a call back.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
That would be my question for you all. Is there anything else within my report you have questions about?
Those fees, we're just moving forward with, we're not voting tonight on that?
No, there's.
It is an action
item.
item.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's right in
Number 10.
front of me in the next
It's
one.
an action item.
I
There
apologize.
is one item of clarification that we'll talk about
Yeah,
on
I
10.
figured
When it
that
comes.
wouldn't happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, for that sub pay, I did want to talk about that. And I know that you're getting more numbers together.
The printouts that we have to get because of the operating system is mind-boggling. So I'm working my way through it, I promise you.
So in a neighboring district that I happen to know, they did raise it a lot. And they're looking at raising for internal as well, which I know that's a different contractual issue. But the burnout of teachers and the stress of teachers is directly related to how many times they have to internal sub as well. And if they're giving up plan times and they're working in extra hours and stuff like that, that's how it's tied to what you're paying your subs. And if you can't get enough subs and you have to use internal subs, that's when the burnout is much greater. And last year, that was what happened. So I am interested in that. I would like to see what it's like and the consensus. And if it does bring in more subs and that alleviates some of the pressure on the teacher, then that's something to discuss and consider. Do you see that in a district you know, Ashley? Are you having issues with the sub pay, or do you have high sub pay?
We have lots of pairs this year.
Uh-huh.
We have been blessed to where we every grade level has at least one parent plus sped and stuff, so we have a plethora to choose from if need be.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the past, we haven't, I mean, we probably have, I mean, each building in my district, we probably, and we're the same size as the elementary, like my elementary is the same size as the teacher. We probably have at least 10 paras.
You have ASOP, so at 158, right?
Yeah, and we have an
Which is-
online platform.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's a completely different animal.
It
as
is.
well,
Yeah. I have
And
that as
that,
well.
I was surprised that Future still didn't have that, like
Yeah,
that, because
so-
everybody, you can put it in whenever you wanna put it in, and anyone can pick it up all over, it's not just a phone tree.
Yeah.
Which I can't even imagine how Ms. Weiss does that. Like, the amount of stress that added would not be worth that.
I haven't
stipend in my world.
haven't gone through a sub person in about 15
Yeah.
years, so I haven't, then I'm guessing that the cost is much, more compared to what Ms. Weiss's
Yes.
stipend is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then we are next in line for the transformer, huh?
According to ComEd has informed GRP that we are next in line for the appropriately sized transformer.
That is exciting.
I'm hoping for Optimus
Did we
Prime.
jump over Kenny's hospital?
He has not gotten it, so that's pretty good.
They
Maybe
probably
it's
need
different
it.
size,
They probably need it. Yep.
Hospital
Yep.
school,
So,
whatever. But that's really great, okay.
yes.
Okay. Awesome. Any other questions for Dr. Gaham? Okay. All right, thank you very much. Mrs. Black.
Good evening, everyone. I will highlight a couple of things in my board report. Officer Hanson has started lessons, first round of lessons in classroom this week. And both Barb and Beth, Mrs. Becker and Mrs. O'Neill, attended a Power School conference for 2 days over Halloween. And they had nothing but great things to say about all the different things that they learned about Power School. So thank you for allowing them to go there and do that. And we have our first month or so of a fully functioning student council at our building. So that has been really great. We have student council for third, fourth, and fifth grade. Right now they operate as separate student councils because we have so many students who were interested. To have one meeting with 50 plus students would be very hard to get anything accomplished. So we have a third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade council. It also makes it easier to divide up some of the duties that they're doing around the classroom. The fifth grade already did their first service project, and their service project's planned for third and fourth grade as well. So that's really exciting because they're very excited to be doing some of those jobs around the building. And I think that's all I was going to share unless anyone had any other specific questions.
Any exciting things coming up in the next month? Like before Christmas? No?
Well, we'll have our second PBIS quarterly celebration, which we had the Wheel of Wisdom assembly last year, and the kids would really love that, as did the staff. So that will be, we get out of school on Thursday, that's the Wednesday before, so we have that coming up, and there's always excitement in the building around holiday time.
Oh,
So
boy.
there's always
Do you,
fun.
I know it stopped in COVID, but do you guys still do the Santa shop or no?
We are not doing Santa Shop. It used to be funded through, or not funded, set up through PTO.
Right.
And I think with COVID and just getting things,
It's a lot.
it became an issue.
Yeah.
And then last year we did try running one with PBIS through a PBIS store, and it was very time consuming and very difficult for a couple of teachers to pull together. So I actually talked and let PTO and our staff know through our SLT meeting today that we currently don't have anything scheduled for that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Understandable. All right.
We'll be getting a new coffee mug this year.
I know, right?
Right?
My little mom ornament. No, I can't. I don't get them anymore.
Do we happen to know why it's taken 3 months to get the first lesson from our SOR at the elementary level?
There was, I mean, the beginning of the school year, we had a lot of things kind of happening with PBIS and then having the fire department come in and things like that. So there was already some concerns about the, I don't want to say distraction to instructional day, but there were already a lot of things that were going on. So this kind of seemed to be a time where things, if you kind of look through with Halloween and fire department visits and then September, we focused a lot on spending time getting ready for our first intruder, kind of drill, and all that took some time.
So has he been,
Oh,
in your
yes.
building, like what has he been doing?
Oh,
Like that's,
yes.
the
Yes,
contract's up
absolutely.
this year and that's kind of the issue we've always had. is
Absolutely,
There's no
he is,
education component happening.
I mean, he absolutely has been in our building. He is very helpful with, more so than in other years, we've had some issues with drop-off and pickups. He is always around when we need him for that. He's been in buildings at lunchtimes, in the lunchroom, out at recess, connecting with kids and things like that. So he definitely has been around and been seen.
Utilize him. I think he's a very good resource for the district.
Yes, and of course, like, as far as residency issues, truancy issues, things like that, which are already established things that he does with his time.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Kwasny?
Good evening.
Is Rachel coming next month or no?
Well, I guess she's not here, but she was invited to come.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know if she was not able to make it, but
Okay.
I did ask her and she said.
Okay, all right, no
But,
problem.
you
Then
know, I will-
congratulations to Rachel if not, yeah.
Yeah, I will still give her a shout out. I
Sure.
wrote up something. I will share, since you mentioned that, I will kind of share a little bit of what I was gonna say. She did a great job at state. She ran a 14:28. And so she started her season at 16:46 for a 2-mile race. So she really improved over time. She didn't run her best at state that she has had in the past. Her PR was actually a 13:41 at sectionals, but she still did an amazing job. I mean, she was the first individual athlete to advance to cross-country state since 2018. She was the first 6th grade individual girl to advance since 2001, and the third girl ever to advance in the 2A division as an individual.
Wow.
So I mean, super impressive. She's just such a wonderful person too, in terms of scholarly accolades and athletics. So.
And thank you for that special, celebration for her.
Oh,
The
sure.
fan bus, they all loved it.
Yeah,
Absolutely
good.
loved it. It was so special.
Oh, good. I'm so
Yeah.
glad. And she seemed really excited. We did the parade send-off, and so those of you who don't know, we lined the school, had the signs, decorated her locker, gave her, little treat bag and everything. Her family was able to come, played some fun, music, Rocky music and so forth to pump up the crowd, and she seemed to really like it. So it was pretty awesome.
Very special.
Yeah. So congrats to her again. I wanted to share a couple of fall band and choir updates. They recently had their concert, the Concert for the Hungry, that they did a nice job at. They also had a great showing at the Canwell Festival, as well as the ILMEA Festival as well. And they have a tree lighting that they're going to be playing at for the village. That's going to be the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So I wanted to share that because band and choir have a lot of things going on lately. We also just recently had our quarterly reward for the very first quarter, and we enjoyed the students' ice cream and movies. So, and then we're going to go off-site as the year progresses to do kind of more, outside the box and more fun things, but we kind of start off in the building and then progress. We did some throwback movies, which was kind of cool. We did like the original Star Wars, Gremlins, Karate Kid, Goonies, Footloose, those kinds of movies. So it's just kind of something different, movies that maybe, are more from our generation. So I think they really kind of got a kick out of that. So that was cool. Not your traditional movies that they're used to seeing. Lastly, I wanted to also share an SRO update on behalf of the junior high. SRO Hansen taught some health lessons for 6th through 8th grade. And he taught lessons in regards to emotions, peer pressure, the risks and consequences of alcohol and nicotine. And I thought the kids did a nice job. I thought they were really receptive. I thought he did a nice job in the classroom. He broke them. He did large group. I was in there. They did small group. They did some board games to kind of help teach the lessons as well. So I thought it went over really well, and we look forward to having him in the classrooms throughout the year too. It's kind of hard with our health classes because it's only a quarter.
Right.
So you can't dedicate too much time. But we thought it was good that he had a few days in there, and we're going to kind of see how it goes throughout the year. We've also looked into maybe study hall and PE classes to have him teach lessons in as well. So we're kind of seeing what will work for us, but it went over very well. So we're appreciative for him coming to the classrooms for help. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Meyer.
What do you think she means by our generation? What does that mean, our generation?
I don't know, our generation.
I'd like to
I
congratulate.
like those movies though.
I'd like to congratulate, thanks to Marla too. Thanks to Marla for being a great team member. The biggest deal is going to be that I'm going to have to learn how to spell miscellaneous for the past, whatever, 12 years now that I've misspelled it. Even though spell check has not ever caught that, she catches it every year for 12 years and finally told me last week that she's been helping me out and bailing me out.
that's
So I've just been an
hysterical.
idiot for years.
Oh, that's
So
hysterical.
I appreciate that.
You could go back to the MISC period.
Come on. But it never spelled it. So she held it in, but then she finally told me. So I appreciate it. Thank you for all you've done.
She had your back this
I know,
whole
I agree.
time.
That's what I'm saying, a great team member. I
Right.
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So-
Next in line, good to be a good team member. KACC, I'd like to just, a couple things on our sophomore day. We had over 50 kids that attended the KAC sophomore day. They go to 3 20-minute little sessions down at KACC to kind of figure out what they want to do if they do choose to go with the program in the junior and senior year. I'd also like to mention Mr. Sarsany continuing to work hard with and giving kids opportunities to see colleges, etc., but all the meetings one-on-one with the seniors to make sure that they've got their community service done, they've got their requirements done, they've got X, Y, and Z. So I'd just like to say that he's continuing to do a nice job. I'd like to thank the community all around and junior high and elementary for the haunted hallway. Again, another great turnout. It's a very nice moneymaker to support the student council. So again, phenomenal job, great job again. I want to say thank you to the community. Lastly, I had Jostens. The last day to put in an order is December 16th. That would be for any senior stuff, letter jackets, rings. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I left out.
Graduation invites.
Graduation invites.
Pictures, senior
yeah, whatever.
pictures.
Yeah, so 12/16 is the last day. We've got signs out there. They came, but I want to make sure I put that out there one more time. Also, and I guess I should have said this at the beginning, we also asked Ms. Burdick to Brooklyn to be here today. She did run a personal best 3-mile race, 19 minutes and 43 seconds, and she placed 75th out of 250.
Wow.
So she did really well.
Amazing.
Really, really well.
And the sophomore spaghetti supper was a success.
I think so. I told Mrs. Waterman to write up something for next time and
Okay,
tell me
good.
how many people and got this. Yes.
I don't have the numbers, but it was fun.
To come back
That was my
correct.
first.
She
Yeah.
said, and she was so nervous, but thanked the family members in the kitchen and the volunteers.
We had a lot of fun.
Kids did a nice job.
Yeah.
So yes, she was pleased. She was stressed.
Yeah.
She was very pleased.
They did so
after
well,
Thursday.
so well. The kids
That's
were
what- that's what
wonderful.
she said.
Yeah.
So good. But I'll give you more of an update next month.
Glad it's
Awesome.
back.
I agree.
I like
We're working
that
on the
tradition.
pancake supper to get
Yep.
that back to you
Yeah.
in the spring, to get that for the freshmen
breakfast.
and
Yeah.
start to get back to
I have pancakes
normal
at
percent.
different
I do too. Breakfast
Yeah,
for
no,
dinner is
breakfast for
awesome.
dinner's the best.
Yeah.
Pardon me? You had all day to get those numbers. She had all day. She did. Yeah, no.
Miscellaneous numbers.
Yeah.
No, what?
You're all
There is an E in
Miscellaneous.
miscellaneous. ES is what I've been told.
Miscellaneous. Now I'm looking for it every time.
No, it's
Okay.
fine. We don't find it perfectly on the board report. It's just the one when I send to her that she cleans up before she sends it to you.
That's so awesome. All right, any questions for Mr. Meyer?
Just, it seems like everyone talked about the SRO. SRO, anything for high school?
So he's driver's ed, PE, and again, we're working on the same thing we did last year with a very low-level self-defense for girls. What we did last year was like when they're sitting down and someone comes at you, how to get up and move back. So we're looking at doing that again in PE for I think we did seniors and then we brought it down to juniors. He's looking to do that again, for sure. We've done PE and we've done driver's ed. Yes, and he's in.
Silly question. I mean,
Always.
what if that is like, assuming boys don't, assuming boys know how to fight or not, but shouldn't that be for everybody? Couldn't they
Maybe.
do that for everybody?
Could be. We just thought it was more of a female issue to begin with. He was just thought about college.
Yeah.
First thing he told me was, the college girls, let's do this for the seniors.
25%,
Sure.
1 in 4 will
But,
be
I
sexually
mean, I don't know why
assaulted.
we couldn't.
Yes.
I don't know why we couldn't.
My daughter did one with her softball team in a dojo, right?
No, I can absolutely bring, yes. We
Yeah.
have the mat, we just have to get the mats from the elementary and bring them over. No,
Yeah.
we're we're willing to do that. Yeah, he brought up girls, but I'm more than
But
happy to bring
it's,
up.
and
Sure.
that is a true
Absolutely.
statistic, so,
Sure.
okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
if you have daughters going to college, don't watch
Yes.
true crime or listen to true crime
That's all I do.
podcasts.
All
or
I do,
watch-
that's why they're rude. It's fine, yes.
Go to college.
Mr. Meyer mentioned KACC, and we went Thursday for
Oh, to
our
CARS.
quarterly meeting, our CARS meeting. So it's not on here because I forgot to tell Mara beforehand. But there were a couple updates as far as programs they're adding.
Okay.
So they're adding a diesel tech, which I know is a big one kind of here. We do have lots of kids go to Wire Tech, and they've worked with KCC Community College to make it where they get certified and everything. So it's transitioned in. They're changing their early childhood program to Foundations of Education for Teacher pathway to try to make it to where they're getting classes, and they're now going to be kind of interning at the elementary schools. So it is a pathway to become a teacher, to try to, home grow those so you can have your teachers come back and teach for you. They're also adding cybersecurity and IT. And then last year, or the last kind of meeting we had, they talked about adding the EMT and all that. That's all good where they've had that.
Awesome.
And they have more dual credit to where they go leaving college credit. That was more through the engineering program too. I think they leave with engineering leaves with 12 college credits. So with the programs they have, and a lot more internships, work studies that they're doing to where the kids can go for a couple hours or whatever and intern to figure out, yes, I want to do it, or no, I do not want to do this before they're wasting money in college. That's their big thing. So if you know any businesses that are interested in doing internship or anything in the county, they're always looking for, that's how this diesel tech came. They had the guy there where he'd come from his trunking and he couldn't find workers. And the problem was he can't compete with Wire Tech. He came and he spoke and he was like, I'm a small mom and pop, I can't go to recruit and I can't pay what they're kind of paying. But if we can catch these kids here that they don't want to leave or they can't afford to go that, they can do this a lot cheaper. They pretty much built this program and got it all with the community college within like 6 months.
Awesome.
So if you can think of other programs that would benefit our kids and you have anyone in the community that wants to do that, talk to them.
Okay.
Talk to KACC, talk to Kankakee Community College, because they are very open to building these programs. I mean, building the curriculum. And like I said, it came about in 6 months. Peterbilt got in and helped. There's companies and businesses out there that want to help and have the funds to help. They just don't know where to put them.
That's wonderful.
So that was it.
Good
Anything else I
info,
left
thank
out?
you.
You remembered more than I did. That's very good.
Very good. Okay. All right, thank you. So moving into old business. This was following our school fee discussion in finance and personnel. Are there any questions or any discussion before the full motion? Yes, sir.
We have the clarity.
So there is a clarification. So when you discuss the possibility of a cap,
Right.
I believe the impression was it was a cap on the year. The policy reads it as per season. So so currently there's a cap of $100 per family per season. So you're looking at fall, winter, and spring.
Okay. Okay.
So if you choose to make a cap, whatever your guys' motion is, your old policy still was under the pretense of per season.
Okay.
So if you're going to change that, you might want to clarify that as well.
Okay, so so anybody who wasn't at that meeting, what the discussion was, is that we were thinking if we should have a cap or not, and then some people, which can be explained, were for having a cap at least for $300, but of course now with the season, we need to talk about that. Some were with no cap. Oh my gosh, now I just thought of junior high lingo with saying cap and no cap. Gotta let it go. Anyways, because the thought process is that there are no other schools with caps. And so, this is something that we were offering. And as we knew that there are things that need to change, this is an opportunity to change that. But then we also brought up, in multiple kid families, how expensive that can get as we are raising fees and things like that as well. So Yes, so we all agreed on the fees that came through for presentation to the rest of the board, but we need to discuss the cap.
And we had talked about doing a cap this next year as a stepping stone. So then reevaluating it next year and saying, okay, do we want to remove the cap? But we don't really want to go from 0 to 60 on our families.
Sure.
I think that's a big burden.
Yeah.
Because we are doubling other fees and everything too, and it's a lot to go from 0 to a lot, I think. Easing into it, I think, is best for everyone, but that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when you say season, are you saying like, because there's fall, winter, spring?
Yep.
So that's 3 seasons?
Yes, ma'am.
So the current cap is $300 a year, $100 a season.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
So that, I mean, if we want to keep the gap, if we're kind of doubling everything, maybe double.
Currently-
Instead of 100, it's 200.
Currently, it's capped at $100
Per season.
per school year.
No, our policy is per season.
Policy is per
It's
season.
per season?
Yeah.
If you like me, I can actually read the policy to you.
Okay, then I read that wrong.
I mean, I don't see anything going against if we're
Doubling?
doubling the age, just to double.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
200
step,
per
It's a stepping
season?
stone, and then see how it worked and how it didn't work,
Mm-hmm.
what we like and don't like next year.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts?
And that's just the cap, it may not
If it's,
change.
if it's per season, yeah, I would go with the 2 rather
Two,
than the
yeah.
3, yes.
Mhm.
But I'd definitely like to see a cap, yes.
I'm fine, we'll just revisit it next year. with the
Okay.
200.
Okay.
Because we're gonna, yeah, because you're looking at, you're gonna be increasing other fees too.
You guys have to change the policy first.
No,
we're
it's
not
per
changing
season
the
as
policy.
is.
That's
We're
how
not-
it is.
I wasn't-
We misunderstood, that's what, we misunderstood the policy. We thought it was per year, and he said, no, it's
It's
per
per
season in
season.
our policy. So that's what we have to stick to, because that's our policy.
Yep. Okay, well then, hearing.
So then we're looking at then for
consensus.
200 per season?
Mm-hmm. Then I'm gonna go for a motion to approve fiscal year 2024 as technology at $50, sports fee, wait, as there's a semicolon.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be a colon or comma? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna nitpick. Wait, technology is 50.
I believe because Marla was.
Sorry, I'm not correct.
She was probably deeming this as multiple motions.
Okay.
Since the technology is separate than sports.
Leaving the semi, okay, cool.
Yep,
Thank
so-
you. Not comma, got it. Technology as $50, sports fee, IESA as $50 per
No, we're
sport.
gonna do one motion per thing. So I need a motion to approve the technology fee at $50 per student for the 2023-2024 fiscal year.
So-
What she said.
So, wait a minute, because I have, so Marla. Motions?
So
You're gonna have separate motions?
you're gonna have.
Okay, it wasn't written for separate, so that's why.
So I move to approve the technology fee at $50 per student for the 2023-2024 fiscal
Okay,
school year.
hold on 1 second though.
What?
'Cause just because Marla had planned
Right.
on writing this a certain way, Marla, which would you like?
Oh.
Would you like me to read as one like this, or do you want me to go individual?
You have a motion out there, so you have to deal with that motion.
Oh, you just made
She-
it.
Yeah, she's just doing
Thanks.
minutes, so she can edit it as we see. Yeah, don't worry about what the minutes look
Fine,
like. We'll make
okay.
sure the minutes match what you guys do.
Okay,
So
so,
slowly.
Second.
right,
So
just
moved,
give her
yes.
time, okay.
I did first, Larry did second.
I thought Ashley did, no?
Ashley moved it.
Yeah.
Ashley, all right,
moved
then
the
I'll,
technology.
then I'll do second then.
Okay,
Okay, so, here we go. Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
yes.
Paulmeyer?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
And Hernandez?
Yes.
I-
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve sports fee IESA $50 per sport. And golf $70, sorry.
Keep going.
Do it, it's all
Keep-
sports.
that's
Do it
all
Now we
sports.
don't do all
Do it
the
all.
sports.
It's all
Yes.
sports.
Okay. I wish you could see what I say. Okay, motion, I'm gonna repeat. A motion to approve fiscal year 2024 sports fee IESA $50 per sport and golf $70. IHSA $100 per sport and golf $120. With a sports cap for a family, that would be $200 per season.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Pappas?
Yes.
Paulmeyer?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Missouri?
No.
And Hernandez?
No. And Herman, yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, and I need a motion to proceed to executive session for compensation of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in a park, recreational, educational setting, or specific volunteers of the public body of legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony. It will be on compensation.
As well as negotiation.
As well as collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedule for one or more classes of employees.
And student discipline.
And for student discipline.
So moved.
Second.
That wasn't a second, but someone said it.
I need Mr., oh, I'm sorry, you got do your thing first and I'll tell them I need.
Okay, Palmer? Yes. Flores?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
And Hernandez?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need Mr. Meyer and Dr. Clausen to join us, Ms. Black, unless you see
Thank you, Mr.
anything else you
Peters.
need.
Thank you.
Ms. Black, thank you for attending.
Have everybody sit.
Of course. Are we ready? Back in?
Over there.
Lights on.
All right, we are back to regular session. It is 8:31. I need a motion to accept the employment of Myrna Mueller as Spanish Club advisor.
So,
Second. Palmer? Yes. Flores?
Oh, wait,
Wait, oh,
I have to restart.
we okay?
yeah,
All right.
keep going.
Oh, we got this.
Start over.
Start over.
Oh,
We're back in regular session.
yeah, we're back in regular session. It is 8:31. I need a motion to approve the employment of Spanish Club advisor. Now I just wrote, wait, I'm sorry. Motion to accept the employment of Myrna Mueller as Spanish Club advisor.
Second. Okay, Palmer?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to accept the employment of Darwin Kane as full-time custodian.
So moved.
Second.
Flores?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, I need a motion to accept the employment of Jessica Hernandez as executive assistant.
So moved.
Second.
Belt?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to accept the 2023-2024 school calendar as presented.
So moved.
Oh, wait, where's that at?
It was in the packet.
Do we only get, are there multiple options?
No.
So,
Yeah.
so what I do is I create it and then they ask for multiple options to take to their, the union takes to the teachers. That way they discuss it, so then they come to a consensus, bring it back to me, and then we make sure that everything matches up and aligns with days.
Gotcha.
So sorry if it's, I know, that's my sake.
I'll second. Randy first. Okay. Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, and then grants?
I just want to give you an update. We, per the per the facility committee, we applied for the school maintenance grant for $50,000 on the rubber roofs at the elementary, so we will be bidding that out. We'll have Mr. Snow put together an RFP for us to get some prices on that, and that probably will take place, did I say? Yeah, elementary. So I'll take over the summer.
Okay.
And then the digital equity grant, which was $73,000 last year, we got the the application this year of a rollover of $18. So
Hey.
there is no digital equity grant to speak of as we speak. So. What happened to the ceiling? Oh, that's looks like probably. Oh, that's going to be GRP coming out to fix it.
You skipped 12B,
I skipped 12B.
2022 tentative levy.
Oh, you must have it. Look at the
revised.
the revised
Yep.
agenda. I apologize.
You have a revised agenda on your email.
No, this was just given to me today.
Oh, well, the levy's under the other discussion items, because it's not an action item, you guys can't
Gotcha,
approve
okay.
the levy. There hasn't been a truth in taxation hearing. However, if you'd like me to move on to that one, President Pappas?
Yep.
So the levy, provided you guys the numbers. If you'll notice, I did not levy anything for life safety this year. We have a plethora of money still sitting in that reserve, and we'll be using that, part of that for the roofs, but other than that, you can't move life safety money, so I didn't levy for much of that. I also levied a little less for the IMRF/Social Security Fund. The purpose of that is, again, you can't move those funds around like you can with transportation, O&M, et cetera. So we are going to be pulling some money out of reserves specific to IMRF, Social Security, to help cover the rest of that cost. So that money, again, was reallocated to Ed Fund and O&M. Transportation, I think I also took a little bit back from as well.
Okay.
And so we've kind of put a little extra towards Ed Fund and O&M just to try to get those funds back up.
Okay. All right. Any questions on that? And we already talked about the property.
We did, so
All right.
we'll, I'll talk to Ms. Pappas and we'll get a facility meeting together sometime.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Items for December 12th board meeting.
So the actual levy is going to be in December, so there's a truth and taxation hearing to start that out. We do one every single year. This one is required by law because we will be levying for all 5%. The levy actually says 6.1% because of the ballooning that that's not required, that is considered. But again, a reminder, you could ask for 1,000% increase.
Sure.
Will County will never give you more than a PTEL 5%. And that's because CPI right now, when they provided us the number for CPI, it was at 7.1.
Okay.
So you missed out on 2.1%.
Okay. All right, and then upcoming dates. This Friday is the school board convention in Chicago. Looking forward to our continued education. The three of us are going, me and Ashley and Randy. All right.
And then the other upcoming date you can mention is negotiations. We'll meet again. Obviously, it's closed session, but theirs will be next Monday.
Next Monday. Tuesday.
That's what I said, Tuesday.
That's right.
The 30th
And then
for the meeting, and then the 22nd between us.
Is it okay to contact after Thanksgiving for facilities? And I'll move it after the holiday for that. Okay. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Gracias.